I'd like to call the July 25th, 2022 Road Committee meeting to order. Let's salute the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which
which
it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and
justice for all.
Okay, I was hoping that we'd have a little bit more on our agenda than we do today. First of all, I just like to an update on RSMS and see if you guys have had a chance to do any data entry yet.
Just been-
I know that the weather is not,
Yeah, I'd love a rainy day just to go do it.
yeah,
Just haven't had 2 seconds.
all right. Same with you, Will?
Yeah, the minute I get a minute of a rainy day, I'll go do it, so.
Okay, all right. I just don't wanna kind of have that go on a back burner and stay there and.
No, we've
not
both
have
talked
get
about it,
done.
so.
Yeah, okay,
But we got it both going, I think, at the same time, like the first time.
Just make it easier, yeah,
yeah. I mean, once you do a couple of them, it's
it's easy. Yeah.
So, anyway. All right, Will, I'm gonna put you on the spot for the West Shore Drive update.
Yeah, I talked to the engineer, and I think the beginning of last week, like the box culvert, if you would, like one of the options, and the, meet in the middle option, those were at the time in final review, and she was going to take a look at them and another engineer to finalize it, but they're still working on the in-kind replacement. They actually, I believe they had a meeting with Colin to go over some more, because they were kind of uncertain
Right.
on a couple of things. I knew they were going to have a meeting with Inland Fisheries too, to kind of talk to them about a few things.
Okay.
So, the only one we're hung up on right now is the in-kind replacement.
All right. I did get an email from DEP. There is going to be another round of stream crossing grants opening up. And I haven't seen any applications, but that's going to be opening up in mid-August. So, just in case, we know we need to keep that in our back pocket, just in case that is a route that we have to go. I just wanted to let everyone be aware of that. And perhaps with your next conversation with the engineers, let them know that you're aware of that grant process, and that, I don't know when it's gonna end, when they're gonna close it. I don't know how long they'll keep it open.
She does apologize, but I mean, it's like anything, they're a little short-handed themselves, and, there's only 2 people, they only have like 2, I guess you sketch artists that sketch these plans, that's all they do, so. She told me they're going as fast as they can go, so I don't wanna rush them either, so I mean, it's one of those deals,
But, but as time goes on, the further it goes
Oh,
along.
I know, yeah, I
it's-
know, trust me, I think about it every day, so.
Yeah.
Is DEP gonna have stipulations on what kind of culvert we're gonna be using, I'm assuming?
It's a stream crossing, so.
It'll be a box
that's-
culvert.
It would, or the 1.2 bank width, full width. They won't even consider a, in-kind replacement. So, and I haven't seen the announcement as to how much it's gonna be. I know it's gonna be an expedited process because of, a lot of COVID, issues. But I haven't even seen how much the grant is gonna be yet.
Something's better than nothing.
Absolutely.
You get one time, like 150 or something?
It was 125 the last time.
125 is better than nothing.
Right.
And I believe it was 3 or 4 million that they've got available, for this round.
Yeah, but if, let's just say, in theory, the in-kind replacement works, yada, 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 we wouldn't be able to apply for it though,
No.
right?
No, well, we could apply, but it'd be probably a waste of time,
Right.
so, but I still wanna make sure that everyone is aware that, this is coming up. Like I said, just in case, because if they come back and say it can't be done in kind, then why not try to get some money to help offset the expense?
Oh, absolutely.
you know, and we can use that money to put toward our next topic, Row Bridge.
Hurry up and wait.
Yeah. Were you able to talk to Michael?
Very briefly.
Uh-huh.
He was in the middle of doing one of his bridges. He's got 18 to do this year, so. When he had some extra time, he was gonna get back to me. So I just haven't heard back from him.
Okay.
So I don't wanna bug him too much because he's just super busy. So, but I have not heard back from him.
Do you have his email address?
I do.
Maybe if you could just follow up rather than a phone call and
Yep.
an email, he might be quicker to respond to an email.
Yep. Yeah, I call him during the day and, you know, he's in his excavator and I talk to him, so.
Yeah. I mean, and that's where he's gonna be,
Yep.
so.
Did you seem interested?
Sound like he was, you know, it sounds like he'd be interested. You know, it's just a matter of getting an updated quote and then get him down here.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be more towards the fall when we'll be able to get him down here to meet with us.
Well, I mean, nothing is gonna happen next year probably anyway,
Right.
so, but we need to,
Keep the ball rolling on this to get this done.
yeah, 'cause he's, how many bridges out is he? Isn't he out almost 2 years now, anyway?
No, I don't think he's that bad. I mean, we were in the loop. I talked to him this spring about it. So we've been staying in the loop with him enough. So we might be able to, if we can get an okay, something he can get done, like he did Chapley's was pre-built over the winter. So when they were slow, the bridge, the concrete company, that was all pre-built. Wakefield's was all pre-built.
Right.
You know, so that could help us in that aspect.
Yeah.
As long as we're staying on the radar with them.
Yeah, I mean, and that's gonna be important, that's why, you know, and rather than, like I said, bug him on the phone.
Right.
You shoot him an email,
Yep.
and, I know I'm much more likely to answer an email sometimes than a phone call. So, and I didn't put this on the agenda, but I wanted to just, throw this out there. I mean, we're gonna be shortly, hopefully shortly done with, West Shore Drive, with what that needs to be done with that for us as the road committee. And we're kind of in a holding pattern at the moment on Row Bridge. So I'd like everyone to, think about what direction that, as a committee, we want to go in, what projects do we want to work on? What is everyone's thoughts as to what we should be doing at this point?
What's our paving schedule look like?
This year?
Yeah.
When they're coming, probably sometime September, I think.
What are you paving?
What's
What are
that?
you paving?
I'm paving West Shore Drive.
Yeah.
And then, Hawk Road. So 3 miles in there, then Hawk Road's like 5/10 of a mile.
Yeah, I'm doing county, the corner of Gauding that was supposed to be done last year.
Yeah.
And then, Youngs Ridge, a little bit of Peacock and Point, right there. I'm trying to get that whole neighborhood just about done.
Right.
And then next year doing Buzzell. But I got all the trees down near my house, so, but the problem is there's stumps like this right next to the road that I gotta rip up, and I'm not doing that, because I'm gonna rip the pavement right up.
Yeah, makes
So I'm
sense.
gonna wait until I got a schedule next year, and then I'm gonna start ripping all that stuff out.
Yeah, because that one stump is.
Huge.
It's a danger too.
Yeah,
It's right on the edge of the road.
yep. It's probably.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. So I got rid of a couple of them, but I was able not to ruin the pavement on some of them, but that big one's gonna take up a good chunk of that road,
Right.
pulling it out.
What do we, are we working on shoulders at all?
Oh, I showed the whole H road this year.
Yeah, I mean, Hopper has a couple of
working on it.
areas that are really bad.
Yeah, I did that corner. I'm not gonna waste my time doing it with a dump truck and a skid steer. Once we have the shoulder machine, I'm gonna go right down the Hopper Road and do the rest of it. But I got the corner done, I got a lot of the problems done, and we got some ditching done, we got a lot of work done over there. There's more to do, but, you know, I gotta pick and choose my battles with other roads too, so.
Have you guys, drawn up like a 3, 5, and 10-year plan, and what you envision?
Oh yeah, I think we did like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, you did it like 2 years ago. I think we gave it to the selectmen when we had our budgets.
Do you still have a copy
Oh, it's on my
of it?
laptop at home.
Can you email it to us?
Yeah, I mean, it's switched around a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna, I mean, it's a plan,
Obviously.
so, yeah. I think that, I know with Rick being new, and he's in the industry also, I think he's, he'd like to see, and I'd like to see what you guys have projected out further.
Next year, well, once West Shore Drive's done, that'll be good for a couple of years, and then I'm gonna focus a lot of my attention on the H Road. Cause we gotta do something out by the dump. Going into the dump, that's horrible. Me and Rob have been like bouncing ideas off of each other of what we can do up there, and he's got a pretty good vision, not talking for him, but it's all gonna wrap into the road at some point, so, we gotta do something up there, and I can do something on the H Road with all the trucks and everything.
Oh, God, yeah.
The road's just not wide enough.
Probably should try and widen all the roads, really.
Right.
A lot of the roads are pretty narrow.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we don't have the money to do all of that.
No, but you can pick away at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I could see.
When you do your paving, do
When
your
you do your
ditching and
paving,
paving, just
Try to
widen it.
widen it up a little, you know?
I could see the H Road. The good thing about the H Road is pretty flat, so.
Well, there's a lot of truck traffic, I think, on about every road now in Acton.
Oh yeah, you take West Shore Drive, let's look at the Nason Road, not Nason Road, Goose Pond Road,
Oh, yeah.
You got
Oh, it's
two
crazy.
pits in West Shore Drive, you got one on the end of Goose Pond Road, it's like good grief, and it's just gonna keep coming, so.
It'll keep coming.
Absolutely.
But I think the problem is with the H Road is that it's one way, it's 7 miles one way, so you gotta do something, there's no cutoff, there's nothing.
Well, you gotta pick away at it and pick away at it.
Right.
It costs millions to go though. One shot that probably.
Oh yeah, I got a price to do the whole thing, 12-foot lanes, the shoulder and everything, it was like, I think it was like 1.8, it was like 1.6 million.
Yeah.
That was the whole entire road. So I was like, yeah, we might have to skip on that.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
I don't have the money for it.
You've been to capital improvement before, and that's exactly what capital improvement is.
I'll bring my,
And I've got from the two of you, I've got your 3, 5, 10-year plans, but if you're talking about one project being 1.25 mil,
yeah, I was right up there.
you bring it in, we put it in, and we start working on putting money aside, and anytime the state's giving money away, you go for that, and it might take 5 years, but you get your money. So, just don't put it in the back pocket. You've got committees that'll back you up for it.
And I'll give you the quote what they gave us.
Absolutely.
I could,
Town's got the money to do it
Town has the
right
money
now.
right now. You went to the town meeting.
Yeah, our
I know there's
undesignated-
money there.
Our undesignated fund is astronomical. A lot.
I'm just saying. I think that when you guys do your paving this year, you ought to start doing your 20-foot, at least your 20-foot pavement, so that you don't have to go back 3 years from now and make it wider or redo it. And it is what it is.
Yeah, as long as you got the space to do it.
Yeah, if you got the right of way, use as much of the right of way as
Oh,
you can.
absolutely.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense, because you guys have been talking for how many months that the roads aren't wide enough. And so, to me, it's only logical that when you start doing your paving this year, that you have a minimum of a 20-foot to 22-foot hot top area.
right.
And that way there, it's done. And if you end up not getting quite as far as obviously as you wanted to, but at least what you've got done is done, and you don't have to worry about it again. That's just, as a taxpayer, that'd be my advice.
Yeah.
And of course, you're not gonna do that on like Point Road,
No.
but,
Point.
On
you know,
side roads
our
and
major
stuff like
thoroughfares that
main
really,
roads.
yeah. we
Youngs
need
Ridge
to-
is pretty tight because it's got the rock wall to rock wall right there. There's not a lot of room. There's only 2-foot ditch on each side. There's not a lot of
Oh,
room
it's
there.
tight and spot.
There's not that much
It's tight
traffic
right there,
going
but
down
like
there
Townsend,
anyway.
I'm planning on doing minimum 10-foot lanes.
Where's the
Down-
right of way
I
end?
tried
Is it
to
actually
widen
at the
out a
rock
little
wall,
bit,
or is the rock
much
wall
as I
in the
can.
right of way?
That's that could either be.
You gotta look at that.
But like
If it's in the
Townsend,
right,
it's
and
widened out.
I hate to
We're
be
planning
like
on
that,
going
but
a
if
little
it's in the
wider.
right of way,
It's in the right of way.
we can take it.
Well, that's why in West Shore Drive, I staked the whole road out the right of way. There's spots like this, like 8 feet.
No, that's really what you should be doing though, to cover your rear end.
Oh, I did the whole road, right?
Because you don't wanna mess up something on somebody's property, because the
There is
way you
one-
guys are doing it now, the town might get sued a little bit, but there's a good chance you're getting sued a lot.
Oh, I did, there's one lady, she got a rock wall right in the town's right away. I said, well. So
I got that right now in Newbridge. I'm working on Newbridge, doing the ditching and replacing all the culverts. They're all
Yeah,
junk
so-
and collapsed. And I had to speak with a homeowner. I'm like, there's a rock in the ditch line right now. We gotta put it back up on the wall. And that's a 3-rod road. So you're in quite a bit. You know, I think it's close to 20-foot road, and then you got, you know, it's 48 feet of a right of way. So, it's crazy. But they were fine. We put that back and I spoke to them. I gotta do driveway cuts and everything. They were fine with everything we were doing, but
No, I did, I just take the whole road on. You'd be surprised like what people push to get by the road.
Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
it's crazy.
But I mean, like I said, there's just dirt over the years that, I mean, I bet you can, some spots you can get a foot of hot tops in places, just the dirt. And we're gonna clean the bankings right up, you know, and everything, so that's the plan.
Way to do it.
All right, so what projects do we want to tackle?
I mean, for like next year,
Well, forthgoing, yeah.
I'm just gonna focus on the H road, and that's my,
No, I'm talking about for the road committee.
oh.
What do you guys want to see us working on?
I think we gotta put some thought into it.
Think about it, next meeting, come up with some ideas.
Yep.
Shoulders and ditches,
Yeah,
save the road.
it's never ending.
I think you guys ought to think about building some road. Instead of just grinding or whatever, covering up. There's a lot of roads, the base just isn't there. And we haven't built a road in this town for, I think the last one was, West Shore Drive, maybe, the upper end.
Yep.
And there are roads, I mean, some of them aren't bad, as you know, but there's some, there's nothing.
Well, there's some roads where there's no bays.
And
A lot of the side roads are real bad.
do like Scott did up here on St. Page Road. Scott was road commissioned by the tennis courts. He dug all that out and built a road. And you look at the difference in where the pavement's held up on that. David Winchell did the other side of St. Page
By
Road.
the post
same
office.
year. And you look at the difference in the way the pavement's held up, it's huge.
And that side by Scott's was terrible. I don't know if you guys remember how bad by the tennis courts that road was, but that was
That was
absolutely
really,
terrible.
really bad.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Was it worse than,
It was probably,
Buzzell Road?
yeah,
Oh, yes.
it was way worse than Buzzell Road. It used to be a joke, because the speed limit on that, I think, is 25, and it was always a big joke, because there's no way you'd ever go 25, you'd lose almost your bumper.
Buzzell Road speed limit's about 50 to 60, even the condition it's in.
Yeah, yeah.
It's brutal.
That's why the state gave it back to the town. That used to be 109.
Yeah, I have that issue right here on the H road, I got like a hole forming right there, right before the campground, we're gonna dig that right out.
Yeah, do some box cutting and
Box
stuff.
cutting everything.
And I got a section on the main road, same thing, it's all like rots right now, so when that.
A lot of roads will fall apart like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, Riverview, we were pulling stumps out of the road that were only 6-8 inches below the hot top when Dave first got road commissioner, so.
It's like Lebanon
And
Road.
there's, yeah, Lebanon Road's
I
the
mean,
same
there's
thing.
not much you can do with that road because it's so low. I mean, we did a culvert in there, we couldn't get it low enough.
Oh, really?
I had to go to a smaller culvert to get it fit because it was just stumps.
Scott rebuilt a section of, Wilson Pond Road, Darvin Road.
Driving road, yeah, he did.
Put a spot in there. But I think that's what you guys really, what you.
Lower Hopper Road's all trees.
Yeah, we were pulling logs and stuff up when we did that.
Yeah.
Above and beyond.
Yep.
Young's Ridge. Young's Ridge was terrible. There were rocks this big that were pushing up. And it was kind of funny because people kept coal patching on top of the rock. Because there's a hole in the hot top because the rock was pushing up and people would put coal patch on top of the rock and obviously they don't stay on top of the rock. you know.
No.
But
What about, who belongs to that pothole at the end of Young Ridge and 109?
Adam,
No, that's me.
Well, no, is it Adams or is it the state?
probably, I don't know.
The problem is there's a buried
Is there a catch basin?
catch basin with no access to it. So there's multiple culverts going in the catch basin with no access to it.
So that's why that keeps,
But it's not worth digging out if they're gonna dig up 109.
oh, I mean, that whole intersection is also poorly designed
Oh,
anyway.
it's terrible. It's huge. It's nothing but, I can't believe there's not more accidents there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm-
Everybody's coming this way, they cut on the inside, the outside, it was just
Yeah,
a mess.
I mean,
It's
it had
huge.
happened to me the other day. I'm taking a left and someone is on the right-hand side of me, coming off 109. It's like, are you crazy? And I wasn't even in the middle of the intersection.
No. Yeah, it's terrible. That needs to be ripped up and redone and re-engineered and reworked.
Question for you, Leslie. Couldn't you put a traffic island in there?
No,
Oh, I've threatened to do it. I've wanted to.
Will's like, don't put an island.
I want to do a removable island, like a big.
yeah, when,
Swimming pool in the damn thing at some time.
we were gonna, when we did New Bridge Road, we were gonna box cut that whole thing out, but Joe
So
didn't want.
that's why I'm asking, who does the pothole belong to, us or the state?
Us.
Technically, the pothole's us.
Technically, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't wait for the state, I mean, good God.
No,
Not
I
out
don't know what
here.
they're doing on this stretch of 109, but
Yeah, they ground the bridge and
that's it. I don't know what, like on
they
111.
shim that, just as I was really gonna do. But they raised that, right there on the corner in Chapley.
Yep, they did raise that, so figuring they're gonna pave for,
They got paved right over that, I mean,
No, they'll mill 2 inches off and put it back, probably.
I don't think there's any base there on that corner.
no. That, a lot of 109's in tough shape. I mean, you probably know better than anybody, you drive it every day,
Yeah, it's just, in the wintertime, it just falls apart.
especially over by the Muses over here, it's real bad.
Yeah,
That gets real bad. That'll send you into the woods if you're not careful, especially in a plow truck.
State's got a 100-foot easement up to the end of San Pedro. Then it narrows down to, I don't remember if it's 50 or 75 or the way it through.
Would it be stone wall, or, I mean, the rest of it's all stone wall, ain't it?
Yeah, it's quite a bit in there, it's probably stone wall,
Yeah.
per se, but when they put in this road here, they, signed off, and everybody didn't have a 100-foot easement all the way up to the end of San Pedro.
When we did Acton Ridge last year, we replaced a big culvert, and my dad was literally taking logs out of the road. He had his box cut it back like 200 feet, and he just started ripping. And I mean, there was like an oak log in there, probably like that big, and we dug the whole road out, we put like 6-inch gravel right back, and built it right up with that. And every year, this culvert would settle, there used to be like a hump right there. Every winter it would do it, like time frosting him out, don't even push no more. Nothing, didn't even crack, nothing. I was all worried he was gonna crack.
Yeah.
Didn't crack,
Yeah.
nothing. And actually, fortunately, none of my roads have cracked. Everything up, even this one, well, the shoulders have cracked on here, but like Acton Ridge Road, there ain't one crack in the road, nothing.
You're amazed what we just put in these roads.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've dug up some camp roads too, there's a lot of junk in those too.
Have either of you heard anything about, the state, straightening out that curve on 109 down by
Heard a
Youngs
word.
Ridge?
But they're
Because
gonna-
it was
There's
on
been
the.
talk about it.
It was on the schedule, I think, for 2022, which is this year.
Some guy told Robin at the train post this winter that the guy from the state said they're gonna grind the road, widen it out, all this stuff, they're gonna do the corner, they're gonna mill it right off, everything. He said this year, but
I mean, the state publishes a schedule, and that was on the
Getting into
schedule
the year
for
pretty good at this
2022.
point.
Yeah,
But,
That kind of project.
right, I know.
didn't they come up with a big plan 5-10 years ago or something?
That's why they moved all the light poles.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be done by now.
yeah, it was, yeah.
Good things come in time, I guess.
Would they notify you guys when that was happening?
They
or not?
notified the
The town?
town, yes.
oh yeah, didn't we, they signed that letter for him or something?
Yeah, they
Yep.
did.
Yeah, but you remember that? They signed the letter for like the representative, and it's for the state or something, so they could get their money. Is that what that was for?
What, from last week?
Oh, no, this was a month
A
ago.
month ago, so it's something signed, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
DOT,
Yeah, I think it was at least a month ago.
yeah.
No, we should be thinking of putting a sand up.
Yeah, I know. I gotta finish fixing my loader.
All right, so no one has any ideas? You guys all wanna think about it for another meeting as to what projects that we can tackle? And,
If by any chance I have any.
What
like,
happened to
pla-
the, fence right there in Young, is that not- Young by Horn Pond?
Newbridge.
Newbridge, it's all been taken care of. I spoke to the homeowner. He's gonna sign off a waiver, so if it gets hit in this winter or something, we're not responsible. Because technically, I stepped it out, our right of way is right to the lake, in the lake.
I figured where the pole is, I mean, that's in the public utilities, you know what I mean? If you, can't hide a pole.
Yeah. So, but it's such a wide, our easement's so wide on that road, so.
So if
it's
you
right
take
up-
that, if you take that fence out, who's replacing it? He is or you are?
He is. So, I mean, we're definitely not gonna intentionally take it out by any
Well, I
means.
didn't say you were
Tell Dan
gonna
that.
intentionally do it.
Well, Dan got my mailbox a couple times, but that's all right.
I mean, if we get like, if we get a lot of snow, it is what, you gotta push the snow back, it is what it is, man, that's his issue.
You might have to get the loader and push and do it with the loader or something and
That's
dig it
what
out.
But,
Load it in the dump truck, go haul it off.
We've had to do that on my road, on my private road, have someone
Yeah.
come in, yeah. Because it's, so narrow in certain
It
places.
gets to the point it gets to be too much.
Yep.
Last
There's,
few years haven't been bad though.
No.
Had a
we
real
haven't
bad
much.
winter in years.
you're gonna jinx
due.
us now, Denny.
It's
I
gonna
don't care, I don't plow, so it don't matter. It can snow all at once.
happen. Last good winter I had was 2015, but that was down south.
don't jinx me, I'm supposed to go to Vegas in March, so don't jinx me.
Oh boy, we're getting a snowstorm every day in March.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
it.
18 inches every other day.
It's happened.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so,
Leslie,
yes,
from capital improvement, you guys come up with anything, and you come up with any ideas? At the first point, remember, it's job security, okay? Don't worry what it's gonna cost, come up with your idea, work it through, pass it on to cap improvement. If it's something you can do this year, pass it on, so it gets to warrant finance and the selectmen. But if you're dreaming a dream, come to capital improvement. As long, no maintenance, we don't do maintenance. We've got some maintenance to do this year because we have to, capital improvements are necessary because maintenance wasn't done,
Right,
okay? But now we're looking for straight improvements. So, you come up with things that will be behind you. I mean, that's what capital improvement is for. We'll be behind you on it. So it's not just you guys standing up saying, we need A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You have your committees behind you. So, and, because anything we do to make the town better, we make the citizens better. And, we have the wherewithal to do it, and we have the right people to do it.
and
We're sitting right here.
and town meeting has been very good about approving whatever you guys want.
I mean, we got
For the
no
most
complaints
part.
there, I mean.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, you take the townspeople think nothing of borrowing 500,000 for a new fire truck, 200,000-300,000 for a revale. So what you were talking about, well, 1.25 million. If you took out a 10-year loan on that, it's short money.
Right,
And look at what you fix.
All won't be done.
You don't, I mean, you have a nice road when you're done to serve everybody. I mean,
We hear the citizens getting up here
yeah,
saying, although I like it, they almost got into an accident there, or they almost were hit. Well, we've been very lucky. Someday, somebody is gonna get hit. There will be an accident.
And even with a 5-year loan, I mean, a couple $100,000 a year, I mean, the town gains that almost every year in revenue.
Just a drop in the hat.
It's a drop in the hat, exactly, and this is why I think that both of you really ought to look at rebuilding certain roads,
Fixing the problems.
fixing the problem.
Not
Rather
just
than abandoning
patching
it.
it and making it better for the short term.
Because sometimes
Because-
paving it, we pay it in the long run, right? Some of these roads, you pave them and 10 years later, they're starting to fall apart again.
Sometimes even less than that.
I mean, I do get that the roads, certain spots are terrible, and you gotta, at this point, pick and choose where you gotta try to improve what you can, but you guys probably should start thinking of some big projects, you know?
And also remember too, that we have a large undesignated balance because certain things haven't been funded enough, roads being one of them.
Well, it's kinda like the issue
Not
with
enough.
Buzzell Road,
Yeah,
right? You can't just go up there and just pave it. It's not like you can just go and grind Buzzell Road and pave it. You gotta actually put some road base in there and actually start doing some real work, and that's why you haven't got on it yet, Adam, I'm
Yeah, 'cause
assuming.
I
Because
can't-
it's just such a project, and other stuff, you gotta pick and choose where you gotta go. Maybe that's something that you gotta look at, like a big number where you can just, it's gonna take this roughly to do it, and just, that's what people are getting, that road's been terrible for, I couldn't even give you an accurate time.
There's not much pavement on
I
that road
mean,
at all.
the whole time Winchell was road commissioner, that road was terrible, right? It was terrible before Winchell was road commissioner. That road's been terrible for so long, I don't think anybody can tell you when it was really in good shape, right? I mean,
not in the 27 years I've been coming up here.
No, it's been a long-
Because I live down the road, I
And the
live down the
problem
street
is-
from there.
is we just keep grinding and paving and grinding and paving, and you can't tackle these big projects. And maybe it is, maybe everybody is right, it's time you start thinking about some of these big projects and,
I think one thing that maybe we want to think about is these big projects like Buzzell Road and H Road, instead of having them in your regular budget, having it perhaps as a separate warrant article where it's separate.
like we used to do.
Front. Yeah, where, you've got this money for your Buzzell Road, but then you still have, your regular budget for everything else, because that's the only way you're gonna catch up.
I hate to say it too, but I mean, I'm kind of a geek. I read like other towns, like Meetings, and there's a lot of towns, even around us, they have all the roads engineered. I mean, I don't like throwing that word out there, but,
No, but it pays off in the long run sometimes.
well, that's why I've been floating the idea in my head to almost have the H road engineered, like.
Yeah.
I've really been thinking about it, then nobody's gonna, there's nothing, there. You're not hiding anything.
You ain't hiding nothing,
Hide
this is the
engineered.
number.
I mean, I don't know like how the town would feel about it, but a lot of the town meetings I watch, even like towns up in the county I watch, they have roads that are being engineered every year, so.
Oh, yeah.
If they get an extra 200 grand, they take that money and they go start building a road, I mean, but they have engineered plans, drainage,
Yep.
base, the whole nine shebang, it's right there. It's a lot of money up front, but at least you have something to go by, I mean,
But
that's,
then it's all off you guys. Mm-hmm. But now you're doing this, not an engineered plan, all you do is gonna do the work.
right. No, I've been like,
It's not a terrible idea, but I don't think it's a terrible idea. Obviously, I work for a company that does it all the time, but
Like the H road, the bigger
Yeah, the big
roads,
stuff.
the bigger roads should be engineered, where there's that much traffic.
right.
I mean, grinding, we have engineers look at our loan. I mean, they're all, we got on-site engineers, right? So, I mean, I'm kinda looking at it as somebody else's money type of stuff, But I think the engineer does pay off, because if you gotta redo an issue 2-3 times, like Hams Hill, for example, has been done 3-4 times over the last 10 years or whatever, that in the long run, we could have paid an engineer and actually done everything that the engineer said.
And the thing is, with the engineer, you should have all the roads engineered. Because I can promise you, in my lifetime, the use on these roads have changed
A lot.
a lot. I mean, you guys see it in the short term, you guys have been around, but what's going on the H road now could easily be the same thing on the Hopper next year, or the Sandman Road, or County Road, or any one of these roads. So if you're gonna do all roads, should be done if you're gonna do it. And I mean, look at the last mile down there on the Hopper.
Here's
You could
just,
throw, dirt,
Yep.
okay? And there's nothing there. It's all sand and wood. That's just what it is. So that's a perfect example of why spend $100,000 or whatever to pay for the darn thing. And 5 years, you're still gonna be going up and down on it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense.
Here's a figure just for something to think about where, you know, roads that we think don't have a lot of traffic. Now, how many, I know there's a lot of people in town who wouldn't think Buzzell Road has a lot of traffic. But between the people who live on Buzzell and all of the feeder roads that use Buzzell Road every day, there is 195, houses that use that road every day. How many people would realize there was that much traffic on that road?
If you've ever stood on the
When I-
side of the road, you would.
When I was given the figures, I was astounded, and I live down there. So I was astounded at, there's 195 houses that use that road every day. And I wouldn't have believed it. So, I mean, so that's something else to think about, is that, you know, these roads that get a lot of use. Sometimes the numbers are hidden, and we don't see them or think about them, and
Definitely the weekends, because I'm in the beginning, I see what the weekends are like, and then weekdays are quiet. Just the regular people live full-time, most of the time. Weekends are busy.
so,
I don't even bother walk my dog down that road,
yeah.
because they're gonna get run over.
Anyway,
Are those the newest numbers in the traffic counters?
no, this was just just a little research project of, how many taxpayers actually live
No,
that use that road.
because I saw the traffic counters out.
I haven't, the last traffic count I saw, I think, was 2019. I haven't seen.
No, I mean, somebody had traffic counters chained to a stop sign on the H Road, like 2 weeks
On
ago.
H Road?
Yeah, there's one on the speed limit sign, and then there was one all the way past the campground up in there.
I don't know.
And I saw,
Doing that.
Yeah.
and I saw it, then I saw them on one of them.
That'll take a while to be posted anyway.
I just didn't know if that was accurate, like, those are the numbers from that, that's all.
Yeah, no, these are tax-paying lots is the number I'm quoting. So that's, and that was, you know, conversations that, you know, someone that I know had with someone else, and so he went to the tax rolls and started counting. You know, to come up with those figures. And then he passed along that information to me. So, all right, so everyone's gonna think about what projects we should be tackling, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm hoping that we're gonna get the engineered plans or the sketch plans soon.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna call her again this week, or I'll shoot her an email tomorrow and just ask for an update, so, but I mean, like I said, they had all called Colin again, they've called Inland Fisheries, because there's some uncertain questions, and really the only one hanging us up right now is in-kind replacement.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that they've talked to Colin, because
Oh, yeah, no, they talked to-
that's, Colin is my big concern.
I mean, she pretty much told me from what she told me was about the same stuff he said that night at the road committee meeting. He's like, if you can design something that you can dry it out, don't have to put no fill in there, knock your socks off, and I think that's.
He didn't sound like he was looking it was gonna work though.
Yeah, I mean, he said, if you can design something, where to put it right back in, take it out, have at it. So I think that's kind of threw them, I think that's what's throwing them a catchball right now, is like, you know, how.
It's kinda scary to come up with a plan, cause it could cost you money, right, when you're dealing with the feds.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
think
you know,
that's-
They make you tear it out.
they do, yeah. And that's a high-profile project, and they're gonna be looking at
They
that.
they are gonna be looking at it.
Especially since he knows that,
Oh, yeah, no, he knows what we're thinking, to a degree, right, with the
Yeah.
in-kind
Oh,
and,
no,
well, no, because, I mean, he's come down twice, to talk to everyone, because, you know, he's like, you're gonna do this the right way.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and I'd have to go back again and watch the road committee meeting, but if you get like halfway through it, he really gets in like the nitty gritty, and, I mean, that's what he said, you know, if you can, like, no sandbags, no nothing, you know, talking about, I mean, drying that right out, literally cutting the hot top, taking that material off, pulling that out, and putting something exactly like that right back in there, same material, same grades, you can do that, knock your socks off, it's pretty much how we got around to it.
Yeah, pretty much is how he put it.
And,
And I spoke to him after that, and he, about something else, and he did ask for an update on that. So he goes, I know that the people on Square Pond want that to be in kind. He said, I don't see how they can do it. He said, but maybe there's an engineer out there that can.
I think it's kind of a, like, Maureen says, it's kind of like a unique, very unique situation, you know, because they have like that one, it's like a legit box culvert sketch, and then there's like they would think is a happy medium. If we can't come to a conclusion, there's like a happy medium one, but, I mean, I don't know, I mean, that's all I can ask for them. I mean, they kind of they're kind of going a little bit deeper here to make one option work the best, so, but I know Maureen said that that in-kind's really kind of threw them for a curveball, you know what I mean, because it's very, there's a lot going on in that one little corner just to put that culvert back in, so. And I told her, I said, I don't want to take forever, but if it needs to take a little bit more time, spell it right out, I do not care, you don't miss one detail on the in-kind plate, that's all I want. Which is, that's what they're working on, so that's all I can ask for.
Yep.
Wait till it comes out. That's all we can do.
So,
Done, they're done.
do we schedule another meeting
I mean,
next
I would-
month,
I
or
mean,
do we wait?
I
What do
would-
you guys wanna do?
I mean, I would wait, because, I mean, the selectmen kinda told us they wanna see it, and then I think they're gonna hand it to us, and then I think we can all look at it, kinda get an idea, schedule a public hearing, and so everybody's on the same page. Well, I think what I got out of it was the selectmen wanna meet with like the road committee, all of us at once, we wrap our head around it. But I think also if you read the contract, I think when we have our public hearing, I think that would be like their kickoff meeting, so like the engineers will come and everything. If you read the contract, it's spelled right out, so I think whatever we do with public hearing, I think the engineer, you know, will be here.
I hope so. So there's gonna be questions that nobody's gonna be able to answer, but then,
So, they, in the contract, it said that, the engineers, inland, all of the stakeholders, which they were assuming was Inland Fisheries, Army Corps, and us, would be involved in that meeting. So,
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about it, if I'm being honest.
it's nothing to do with you, Will.
Yeah, I know, I think,
It's nothing to do with you, man.
no,
It's
it is what
the
it is.
paper
What it
says and what the
is.
paper says, and we do what we gotta do
right.
as a town. I
I
mean,
mean, it's,
it's not you. You're not the one that's coming up with the plan. You're not engineering it. I mean, it is, you told them to do what they're gonna do, and it's gonna come out what's gonna come out.
and we also, have to think about protecting the town in the long run from any,
This again in 20 years.
if we do something wrong.
Oh, yeah, God.
And Colin did tell me, if you don't do this the right way, if you violate.
Oh, no, we're gonna get a ticket.
You will not only get a
They're not gonna cut
fine,
us
you will be replacing
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I know.
No, that's probably,
Probably just best to do it their way, and
But that's not what the residents on Square Pond want to hear, unfortunately.
unfortunately.
You know,
We're dealing with DEP and
DEP, I think, is going to be the easiest part of it.
Oh, yeah, you call them up, when we first started, they said, yeah, we'll give you a
Army Corps,
permit. We'll give you a
Army
permit by
Corps.
rule tomorrow, you go replace it right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it to Kennybunk when they did Parsons Beach. They put rocks where they weren't supposed to, and they made them take them back out. It cost Kennybunk a ton of money.
And that's what
And they
we
were-
don't want to see happen to here.
Ton of money. Not just the fine, just everything in general.
Everything went with it.
And it was over rocks.
Doesn't take much.
No.
No. So that's what I'm trying to prevent. And I've had a lot of conversations over the past 2 years with Army Corps. He came down twice to talk to the residents and talk to us. And he's, very knowledgeable. very willing to work with us, especially, and he said that he says if he goes out at stake in this now because I've spent so much time with you guys.
Right.
So he wants us to see us do it the right way. And he'll do whatever he can to see that we do. But if we don't,
We gotta follow their guidelines,
so,
or rules, rather.
yeah, yeah. And they want to see a stream crossing.
Right.
That's exactly what they want to see. So, all right, so I'm not scheduling a meeting then, is that the consensus of everyone?
Yeah, I'd wait, cause I mean, a month ago, the selectmen kinda spelt out how they wanted it done, so I mean,
Well,
Until we get, you know,
that doesn't,
could be another-
because the selectmen, you know, we can still have a meeting whether the
oh yeah,
select-
sure, but I think what they got at was that, what I got at is they wanna have when we have them, they wanna meet with us all at once, so it's kinda like a done, so we can all talk amongst them, us, you know, kind of a big meeting,
But
that's what I got.
I don't anticipate that we're going to make, we have that meeting and then we're gonna make a recommendation that
Oh, no.
night. I mean,
I think,
we're gonna meet again and talk about, you know, amongst ourselves.
Oh, we're gonna have to
because
look at stuff, right? You don't
Oh,
have to
absolutely.
look
I
at the
mean,
stuff
it's-
we get and
The
do some
selectmen,
research.
the selectmen have absolutely no say with what we decide to recommend or not. You know, we're an advisory board. And they should have absolutely no influence on whatever we decide as a committee. And I think sometimes they miss that we're there to advise them, not they're there to advise us. So, I mean, we've got a good group of people who are very knowledgeable. And, you know, and we know the questions to ask. Just bear in mind that for, I have to have a 10-day leeway to call a meeting. So if anyone's anticipating me needing to schedule a meeting,
Yep,
the sooner I know that, the better,
okay.
all right? And, Will and Adam, just if you can, keep us all updated and in the loop on, the engineering and Mr. Bean.
Yep.
And what's happening and, you know, whatever conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Even on your emails, if you want to CC either me or the whole committee.
Yep.
Please, at least that way everyone knows what's happening. So, all right, anyone else have anything?
Nope.
I'll take a motion.
Motion to end the meeting.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Thank you, Dan.